2023 is a turning point in the cycle of societal flux and spiritual awakening we've been in for several years. In many ways, 2023 marks an opportunity for a new beginning, as many of the heavier energies from 2020 through 2022 are finally breaking apart and moving on. This means that we're getting ready to step into a new chapter. And in that new chapter, according to the angels, we'll be experiencing many effects of our spiritual evolution in the physical world. This has the potential to bring big changes and lessons with it. And in truth, all of this is in service to our awakening to the higher consciousness of love. Tune in with me and get ready to receive the angels' messages for the year 2023. When I tuned into the angels, their messages, as always, were centered upon great hope and love. Angels see reality from a much higher perspective than we do as human beings. They hold a consciousness of pure love, love that compassionately understands our challenges, but that also sees the way through them and knows humanity's ultimate destiny to co-create peace on Earth. We're on a collective journey of awakening to that peace. And according to the angels, 2023 holds great potential for our spiritual awakening and ascension. Spiritual ascension is, basically, our awakening to who and what we are in divine truth, pieces of God, multidimensional, eternal beings of love. As we consciously awaken to this first transforms us and then empowers us to transform our world. This ascension process is, collectively speaking, gradual and will be ongoing for the duration of our lifetimes. But 2023 is gearing up to be a year of particular growth for that ascension process, and it all begins with a perspective shift. In numerology, 2023 is a universal 7 year. 7 represents spiritual seeking and spiritual awakening. It is associated with expanding self-awareness, the discovery of the meaning of life, and a passion to fulfill one's divine purpose. Since 2020 through 2022 brought such intense upheaval, it only makes sense that in 2023, we're ready to envision deeper meaning and focus to guide us into a new world. As 2023 begins, we're going to be guided into deep self-reflection, especially through the first half of January. This is because the December 21st solstice of 2022 will have bathed the planet in new spiritual light, helping you to connect more consciously with your higher self. If you're feeling called to connect with your higher self firsthand, then you can do my higher self meditation here. Essentially, the energy that will start off 2023 is illuminating. It is guiding you to connect with your inner self and reevaluate what is truly most important. The angels encourage us to take those first several weeks of the new year to reflect, meditate, and really explore what we want to align with this year. You'll have really clear conscious access to high resonating source energy during this time, so reflection will naturally lead to big truths about what your soul came to this planet to experience. Once we hit January 22nd, we're going to feel a huge surge of forward-moving energy. This is the date on which we're finally going to see and feel a turning point away from the really conflicted energy of upheaval that stuck around so strong from 2020 through 2022. By the end of January, new vision, inspiration, optimism, and beginnings have massive potential to flow into your life. You may even feel as if you've stepped into a whole new era. That forward-moving, progressive energy will be with us all the way through the month of May. So the first half of 2023 is going to be an optimal time to put your awakening visions and ideas into action and plant important seeds for aligning fully with your divine purpose. According to the angels, 2023 is also a big year for us to integrate ascension physically. During this year, a big influx of spiritual light and energy will be flowing into our planet as part of the very beginning of a 2,000-year-long cycle for integrating new light and upgrading humanity's DNA. Our cells are made of biophotons that respond to divine light from the spirit realm. As we receive new waves of light throughout 2023, the intercellular network of our bodies are going to be absorbing a ton of new spiritual information and integrating it physically. This is catalyzing a great leap in humanity's spiritual evolution. Old energies are falling away as we collectively rise into a slightly higher plane of awareness. Now, the high resonating divine light that we'll be receiving is easily able to move through many dimensions at once. So the physical, mental, and spiritual planes of being are all filling and activating with this upgrade. This light is increasing your awareness of your multidimensional nature, helping you to become aware of the fact that you are more than just your body, your name, and your life story. You are an eternal being, a sacred, unlimited, and multidimensional expression of the divine mind of Source. Since more of us will be coming to feel that, there's a great spiritual potential for hope, empathy, and optimism to take root, inspiring us to make changes at both the spiritual and social levels. In fact, the spiritual vision and truth that has been awakening within the deeper aspects of our beings will have an easier time coming out to root in our societies. According to the angels, we are on a long-term path of transforming our global societies so that they can become better expressions and support systems for love's higher expressions of consciousness. This transformation isn't always going to be pretty, easy, or comfortable, but in 2023, we're finally going to start seeing a few green shoots of hope coming up for this, sort of like the birth of spring. In the springtime, if you live somewhere with long, cold winters like I do, then if you go outside into the woods, you'll start to see these tiny but miraculous signs of spring starting to appear. Little green shoots will start poking out defiantly through ice and snow, even when those green shoots seem to be totally isolated and alone in their corner of the forest. To see those signs is to know that the world has reached a turning point in its cycle. It's a sign that winter does not last forever, that the destiny of winter is for it to eventually become spring. And when the green shoots of spring come up, there's no stopping the momentum and progress towards an eventual mass blooming of color and life that will someday fill the whole forest. According to the angels, the spiritual awakening of humanity is like that. In 2023, you may feel like a lone green shoot blooming in the icy snow despite the howling winter winds. But the light of the sun will be enough to give hope, to sustain you and make it possible for you to usher in the promise of spring. By the early 2030s and 40s, by the way, the new energy will be much more established. But until then, the angels wish to remind you that you are a sacred divine being who chose to come here at a pivotal moment for humanity so that you could help co-create a new earth. You came here to help birth the highest will of the divine, the new spring, the new consciousness of love and its truth. In 2023, energies can shift much more easily, and hope can start to shine from your heart. Not just like a quiet ember, but like a blazing torch of more activated, inspired, and energized vision and passion for the creation of a new life that really reflects your spiritual focus. Now, speaking of manifesting spiritual intentions into the physical world, 2023 is going to be a big year for lessons, awakening, and transformation in our relationship with Mother Earth. Our relationship with Mother Earth actually encompasses not only our relationship with nature and environmental issues, but also finances, food, agriculture, materialism, and our physical body. In each of those areas of life, our relationship with Earth is central. Throughout 2023, we'll be receiving big lessons and opportunities to slow down, retrace our steps, and more deeply examine our established ways of communing with Earth and material energies. We'll be guided to face dysfunctional patterns in finances, food, agriculture, materialism, and physical health, then invited to heal those things by finding a better balance. This shift in our relationship with Mother Earth is a crucial part of our collective ascension and spiritual awakening. Essentially, we're being guided to face the old wounds of lack-based consciousness, imbalanced, competitive, fear-based patterns, and dissociation from our environment. As a result of facing those wounds, we'll receive opportunities to heal them, which has big potential to guide large-scale social shifts into our global finances, including global economies and currencies, global agriculture systems, global energy issues, and environmentalism. Facing issues like this is a strong example of how we're going to be applying our spiritual awakening and spiritual perspective to our relationship with the earthly physical realm. As we grow spiritually, we're being guided into unity consciousness, in which we see that we are part of one another, part of the earth, and part of an infinitely abundant universe. Whatever we face or change this year is just the beginning of applying that new consciousness to our lives in practical ways. There's a huge potential to see a lot of these shifts hitting strong in the month of March. In early March, we'll be entering a phase of culmination for big karmic lessons on our society's structure and organization, based on the last 30 years or so of social evolution. We've been seeing so much social upheaval and change over the last few years, and 2023 has the potential to bring in a culmination of that. The energies are guiding us to ground mysticism and spirituality into practical applications. So if you're a healer or a spiritual teacher, you may find that by March you're receiving new ideas and opportunities regarding how to apply your abilities. This might mean starting a business, sharing information to an audience, or even seeing evidence of science backing up spirituality and merging with it. Overall, March is going to be a beautiful timing to manifest spiritual intentions into the physical world, to organize and restructure life based on spiritually led values, to rethink how we share stories, and to shift how we teach children so that the human spirit is nurtured and considered in these areas of life. And speaking of the springtime, it's also worth noting that May will be another big month for spiritual lessons on our relationship with Mother Earth too, so definitely keep that on your radar. Now, with this theme of Earth-based progress and change comes another important theme for 2023. Revolution. Starting in 2023, we'll be beginning a new cycle of transformation and rebirth that will last about 20 to 25 years. This new cycle of rebirth will be centered around the theme of revolution, and that energy of revolution will flow through our ideas, cultures, societies, and technologies. This revolutionary energy cycle is very we-oriented, meaning that it's going to be focused on communities, collectives, decentralization, grassroots movements, and how to think in terms of greater social good. This is all in alignment with our spiritual ascension shifts away from separation consciousness into a consciousness of unity. Technology has a large potential to play a big role in this. We may find ourselves facing big lessons on how to ensure that we're using technology for the good and balancing our relationship with technology so that our spiritual nature and spiritual needs are honored. This can therefore be a time of technological leaps forward, with simultaneous philosophical questions to answer regarding how to weave technology into our lives in a balanced way that honors our natural connection to Mother Earth and Spirit. All of these lessons will bloom in March and continue throughout 2023. And since we're talking about revolutionary energy, it's important to note that the United States is still going through what astrologers refer to as its Pluto return. This means that the US is redefining its values. This rebirth of values will be leading to a rebirth for the United States government, politics, economy, and so much more. This transformation for the spirit of the United States will bring big events all the way through at least the end of 2024, and will have a ripple effect throughout the world. So, with whatever you see happening on the world stage, remind yourself to stay rooted in faith and to release attachment from fear. Transformation isn't always comfortable or easy, but we have the potential to co-create with that transformative energy and contribute to making the world a more peaceful, loving place for all. Now, the next big spiritual theme that I'd like to talk about for 2023 is going to be relationship insecurity versus security. Especially from July through September, you may find yourself feeling guided to deeply reflect on your relationships. Relationships are ground zero for where some of our biggest spiritual growth happens in our lifetime. During the second half of 2023, the energy will be really supportive for healing limiting relationship patterns, especially when it comes to facing deep-rooted relationship insecurities. If you based your sense of self-worth, self-love, and self-approval on how other people react to you or treat you, then you're in for a wild ride. This energy is guiding you to release imbalanced attachments to other people's opinions, clear yourself of unhealthy relationship patterns, and step into authentic self-love. As you level up in your self-love, you'll then have huge potential to upgrade your relationships so that they support self-love too. Which leads me towards the next big spiritual theme for 2023, balance. According to the angels, we're going to receive a big infusion of divine lessons and energies that will help us realize greater balance for our lives. During 2023, you're going to have periods of really strong go, go, go energy, as well as periods where there will be a deep need to soften, slow down, and tune into your inner self. These lessons will be especially prevalent around the 2 eclipse seasons, both in the spring and the autumn of 2023. One of the best things that you can do to support these lessons on balance is to simplify your life. That means it will be important to ground your energy, simplify your schedule, and get back to the basic simple cycles and joys of life. Simplicity brings balance and healing because with simplicity, we receive more time and space to just be. In the words of Wayne Dyer, you are a human being, not a human doing. When you create time to just be, you open up to a whole new way of creating, progressing, and manifesting. You'll learn that you can get more done in less time the more you simplify, and that you can be highly creative and progressive without burning the candle at both ends. Simplification and balance are another big part of our collective spiritual ascension, because the new energy honors our need to rest, to be human, and to just be. With whatever comes into your life this year, know that your angels are with you every step of the way, and that you are therefore guided by incredibly powerful and wise forces of love. I believe in you, and I am wishing you a beautiful new year ahead. If you'd like to work with me in the new year, go ahead and click the link in the description below to learn more about my Angelic Ascension program. In it, you'll learn all about working with the angels and leveling up to fulfill your higher spiritual potential. Be sure to also check out the links below to keep in touch with me on social media and receive more angel guidance. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. I am so honored to be connected with you. Happy New Year, and know until next time that you are so loved and so very blessed. Bye!